I was a Christian for 26 years. After deconstructing from my faith and not believing any of it anymore, there was still one part that was always nagging at the back of my mind. Despite not believing that it actually still existed, no matter what I did, it seemed I could not get the fear out of my head that I was going to go to hell. Which might seem odd because I didn't actually believe in hell, and yet I was still afraid of it. I was still afraid of what if I'm wrong. After I stopped believing, it took me many, many months to get over my fear of hell, that I wouldn't just wake up the next day in a fiery inferno for all of eternity. This is actually an incredibly common thing. If you're in a religion and debating leaving, or you've left a religion at some point in your life, you've probably dealt with this fear of hell. Whether you believed it being real or not, it's normally the last thing that goes away when you're leaving a religion. Despite having looked at all the evidence, having done all the research, and being completely firm in your belief that your old belief system you held was completely wrong, there's still one thing that sits and gnaws at the back of your mind. So today we're going to talk about hell. We're going to tear into it a little bit, and we're going to talk about how I overcame my fear and just, I guess, deconstruct the thought of it a little bit more. So I have three parts to this. For the first part, let's ask the question, why do religions have hell in the first place? Generally, when we think about hell, it's the place where bad people go, right? If you murder or you steal, whatever it might be, this is where you go as a place for punishment for the bad things that you did in life. It's pretty simple, right? But that's not how religion uses it. They somewhat try to frame it that way, especially in Christianity. But in reality, all that you need to inherit eternal damnation is to simply not follow God. And the wonderful part is, you're born that way from birth. You are born with an innate desire to not follow God, and that enough is to send you to hell. But diving a little deeper, there's real reasoning why they put hell in there. There's a deeper reasoning, and it's pretty obvious: to promote fear. It's something that the fastest growing religions, Christianity, Islam, Mormonism, they all have, and there's a good reason for that. It's an incredibly effective recruiting tool. It's the good old carrot and the stick. If you have heaven, that's a great carrot. But if that's not enough to convince people and they say, well, I don't really want to go to heaven, well, now you really want to go to heaven because we made a place of eternal fire and flames and whatever bad stuff you can really think of. A big part of religion is control, and one of the ways that they control you is through your lifestyle. They all have a strict set of rules that you must follow in order to control your behavior, anywhere from your speech to your physical conduct. It doesn't really matter what it is, it's all meant to control you. So if they don't actually get you into their religion, they can't control you, and that's an issue. And this is not something that people are necessarily trying to do on purpose. Like, a lot of religious people genuinely believe that they're doing a good thing by trying to save you from hell. It's the religion itself that really manifests the control, and some people will use that on purpose to control other people, but others just simply have fallen prey to the same beliefs and believe that they're doing some kind of twisted good by doing it. Another thing we see is that you aren't allowed to change your mind in the afterlife. Now, this really doesn't make sense, and there's no real biblical reason for this. I'm mostly going to talk about Christianity because it's the one religion that I actually know a lot about. I don't know much about Islam or Mormonism or the Jehovah's Witnesses or any of those things. So this probably applies to more than just Christianity, but I'm going to give more specific examples from Christianity. But the Bible doesn't actually give a real reason for why you can't change your mind in hell. It's never something that it really addresses, so now people have retroactively applied theology to it to try to come up with reasoning for why you can't change your mind once you're in hell and still accept Christ. Because it kind of goes against his message that no matter what you do, you're never beyond forgiveness. Now it's, well, you have a little bit of time where you're forgiven, and then after that, you're just screwed. But they need you to think that this is your only chance right here on Earth. It creates a sense of urgency. It's something also incredibly effective with apocalyptic cults or religions, that things like Mormonism or even early Christianity, where they were preaching the end of the world is coming. And it's something that you see all the time in apocalyptic cults today, to say, look, the world is ending very soon. You need to come with us or you will be swept away. Do you really want to be wrong? Like, might as well hedge your bets, right? This is the kind of thinking that religions use. It's to manipulate you and to make you join their religion now. We don't want you to believe our beliefs after you're dead. We want you to believe our beliefs now and join our cause and then follow all of our rules. That allows us to control you. Now, let's ask the second question. What exactly is hell? When you think about it, what exactly does hell look like? You definitely have some visions of flames, right? But outside of that, maybe tiny red men with pitchforks? Well, those things aren't really accurate, even according to religions. There is no real description of what hell is like. It's often very vague. And yes, there's generally flames, but they're also generally symbolic, such as in the Bible, they say that there are flames, but there's also darkness, which doesn't really make any sense because, flames produce light, so even Christians are very much thinking that that's just metaphorical imagery. But that's just kind of the point. We don't know. These texts don't really tell us much, aside from very vague imagery. There will be fire, there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That doesn't really tell us much about what's going on, does it? It doesn't really explain any of it. What does that really allow you to do? Well, it allows you to do whatever you want with it. It allows your head to take this and run with it, and create hell to be your biggest fear. Which is honestly a smart tactic. If you want everyone to be afraid of something, instead of making something that everyone is afraid of, you just make something somewhat vague and scary, and then just let their imaginations run wild. It's the best way to get everyone in. So if you find yourself thinking that the thought of hell is scary, remember that it's actually your thought. There is no religious thought of what this hell is. You're just scared of the own hell that you are creating in your mind. And that place absolutely does not exist because you just made it up. The third question is to ask yourself this. Is this the religion you were raised on? Maybe you're thinking about leaving a religion, but you're still part of it. And that's the biggest thing holding you back from looking for answers. Ask yourself, what kind of groups are like that? What kind of groups, when you go looking for answers and start to think that they might be wrong, just control your ability to leave with absolute fear? It's the same thing if you've left a religion already. You gotta ask yourself, why is it that the only thing that matters about this religion anymore to me is just fear? It's the only hold it has over me. Well, it's the true motivation of the religions being exposed. That's what it is. There's some things that are very nicely wrapped in theology, but when it comes down to it, it's just excuses for it. It's always the same thing. It's always just to scare you. It's always fear-mongering. It's always control. For many people who believe in religions, it's just an unfortunate reality. They don't even understand it. It seems something that's unfair, and they're just left with the thought-terminating cliche of, well, I'll find out when I get to heaven. If even the followers of the religion are still struggling with it, that should tell you about it. Because it's just that awful that even a lot of the devout followers still struggle with it. They still don't understand it. And the reasoning is because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Because it's not fair. Because it is cruel. Because it's awful. It's unjust. And they know that. But they believe the religion, so they believe that it must be good somehow. And now you're stuck with the cognitive dissonance of being, well, this has got to be good somehow, even though I know that it's bad. Once you are freed from that, once you actually have the freedom to think on your own, you can just see that, oh, this was really stupid that I was trying to actually defend this, because it's not fair. It's not good. There is no time at which it will be revealed to me that this is a good thing and I just couldn't see it all along. No, there's a reason that this bothered me so much. But at this point, you notice that this is what the religion is about. It's not about love. It's not about some father who cares about you. It's about controlling you, and it's about making you be afraid. If that's what it takes, then they will resort to just pure fear mongering. If that's what works, well, as long as it gets you to join their religion. Now, again, the religious followers are going to use this as fear, but they're going to do it because they think that they're saving your soul. Because the religion has also completely warped them and made them believe that that's what they're doing. So it's the religious beliefs and the religion that are doing this most of the time. It's not actually the followers that are trying to manipulate and control you. They think that you're trying to save you because they can't see it anymore. They don't see what religion has done to them. They don't see how it's controlling them and causing them to want to go and control other people. That's how it feeds, is like cults. Like, no one goes to join a cult, and no one realizes when they're in the cult. They just all think that they've possessed this new kind of knowledge, and now they need to go and spread it to everyone, because everybody who doesn't have that knowledge is going to have some kind of punishment for not joining. And, they think that they're doing a good thing then by coming and rescuing you into their cult. It's the same thing for religions. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope that this helps some people who are struggling with this. And if you watched all the way through, thank you.